We get a lot of questions about whether tree trunks should be protected from damage or any sort of interesting situations during the winter months in the Plains States. And the answer to that is both yes and no. First off, if you are transporting a tree or if one has been transported, it's really essential to make sure that there is some sort of covering protecting that trunk. Not from the sun, not from the frost or freeze damage, but from bumping up against the back of a tailgate, bumping up even against a container of another tree in the same shipment. And oftentimes at the garden centers or the box stores, you'll see those protectors already in place. We do recommend protecting the trunks of trees that are thin barked, at least during the first couple of growing seasons or until they begin to develop their permanent bark. Maples fall into that category. We also suggest protecting the trunks of apples, pear trees, most of the fruit trees. Really for the same reason initially, because they have pretty thin bark when they're young. Here's the deal on protecting the trunk of a tree, however. There are lots of different ways to do it, and some of them work better than others. What we're after is not only protecting from the damage from sun scald or frost cracking, we're also talking about protecting from rodents, rabbits, the decks of mowers. What you're after is something that is actually breathable, and preferably white. And one of the really good ones is a spiral tube like this that has holes punched in it that you can unwind and rewind as the trunk expands. That should go on the tree when it's young immediately, go as close to the ground as you can. Pay attention to the fact that as the tree expands in caliper, this is going to get tighter and you want to unwrap it or unroll it. Kraft paper is still available. It is an expandable material, kind of like an ace bandage, and you basically wrap it around the trunk and secure it at the top and at the bottom. And again, you want to make sure that this is something that you take off after a season or two, or even what we recommend is leave it on during the winter months, leave it on during the months when you're expecting the most damage to that trunk, take it off and put it back on again. Of course, things like chicken wire and hardware cloth don't do anything to keep a trunk from freezing, sun scald, frost cracking, but can certainly keep marauding critters away. Chicken wire is not nearly as good as very small hardware cloth. And what you want to be aware of is it has to be high enough on the trunk of the tree so that if we get a snow pile, those rabbits can't get over the top. It has to be fine enough and deep enough down so that voles and other critters can't get in from underneath.